is a curse, all the air that I breathe. There's a murder each day on the detective's desk, but I can't figure out what is killing me. It must be the smoke from all of these factories. It must be a joke. It must be destiny, but it can't possibly be. Adam killing me, but maybe I am killing me, but maybe I am killing me. There's a problem I feel deep in my core. It's the realness of mortality. If eternal life provides shade like a tree, then it's underneath if my angel sleeps. It must be its fault. I'll die as it dreams. It must be Adam, but in all with disease. But it can't possibly be. No, it can't possibly be that I'm killing me, but maybe I am killing me, but maybe I am killing me. And how can I take responsibility for what I was just born into? And how can I take responsibility for what I was just born into? It can't possibly be. No, it can't possibly be. No, it can't possibly be that I'm killing me, that I'm killing me, that I'm killing me.
Good afternoon, everybody. Hello. How's it going today? Welcome back. Welcome to this week's stream with me, Julia. Smrt live streaming here with you, live from Vancouver. I'm hoping everyone's doing well. I'm just checking out the chat here. seeing the usual suspects and some new some new names that I don't recognize. So welcome if you're new. Saeed, sounds like you have a pretty nasty cold. I hope you feel better soon. I also was battling one recently, just getting over it now, so feeling better. Hopefully you do too. And just again, a shout out to our partners at CCPM and UTS. And if there are any students from these schools in Mexico, please feel free to participate in the chat. So, I hope you are doing well, and we're going to get started today. Today with this stream, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. We're going to continue a little bit more practice with present perfect continuous, present tense. Today will be kind of the final stream on that topic for now. So yeah, let's get started. Did you guys have a nice weekend? Nice to see all of you. Jacqueline, Aaron, Nawar, Lolly, Michaeli, Raphael, Denise. Hello everyone. Jacqueline, Gertie, Missim, Saeed of course, Khosrow, Che Guevara from Ethiopia, welcome. Great, awesome. And Ali from Turkey. Nice multicultural stream. Vladimir, hello. All right. So we will get started. Like I said, we're going to finish up with the present perfect today. Some more practice, some good practice. So please participate in the chat and let me know if you have any questions. I will do my best to keep up and answer everything that I see. Okay? All right, let's start. So, in this first conversation in Smrt here, we're kind of mixing the present tense with the present perfect tense, which is a lot what we're going to practice today. There aren't any fish in this lake anymore, one person might say, and then the other person might be like, yeah, you're right, where have they all gone? Okay. So we often, as you know, as I have repeated myself a few times now, that present perfect simple is about the past, but is definitely connected to the present, okay? So again, little review. If you are someone who comes every week, you might be like, oh, present perfect again, but don't worry, it will be good practice for you, I'm sure. And if there are new students, it's always good to repeat, okay? So as we've been studying in Unit 7, the past few streams, that we use the present perfect to connect the past with the present conversation, okay? It always gives information about the present. There's always a connection. So let's see here. We've run out of milk, someone might say. We've run out of milk, okay? So the present result, let's go to the store and get some more, okay? Past finished action, you have embarrassed her, okay? Present result, now she's crying. Present situation, Steve isn't here. Past perfect, he has gone home for the day, okay? So as you can see, the past perfect and the present are often used together. Michaeli, and the present perfect, it's always something important in the past that is connected with the present, okay? One thing that we will add in a little more detail this week is the passive voice, okay? So we have seen a passive voice a little bit in the last few streams. Yes, present perfect, present perfect. We're talking about present perfect. A past action that connects with the present, okay? Present perfect, yeah. So the passive voice, okay? If you are not familiar with passive, we've got passive and we've got active. These are two different voices. I said past perfect, I apologize. I am talking about present perfect, for sure. When I'm saying past, I'm talking about past actions, not past perfect, past actions, okay? So the passive form, we're talking about using have or has, been, and a past participle, okay? When we're using the active voice, we use has or have and a past participle, but we don't need to include been, unless, of course, our main verb is been, okay? So let's look at some examples here. The door has been closed, okay? And that's the past action. The present result, that's why it's a little warmer in here now, okay? So again, in this case, we are using the passive voice. So that's why we need been, the verb be in the been form, and we need our past participle, closed, okay? The door is the object receiving the action, okay? Here's another example. Present situation. We need to call a repair company. Why do we have this present situation? Because in the past, one of the car windows has been broken. Okay, so we have our object, we have our has to agree with that object, we have our been, part of the form, and our past participle. Okay? And another situation, your application has been denied. I'm so sorry. Okay? So here, application is the object, and you have your has, your been, and your PP denied. Okay? And about the voice. Yep, that's right, Nayarana. I refer to the noun, I refer to it as an object just because it is often a noun, but it is receiving the action, Nawar, if we say the door has closed, that means that it closed by itself, okay? And if we say the door has been closed, that means somebody else closed it, okay? The door has closed, meaning it closed by itself. But generally we would say, she has closed the door, right? Because somebody does it, right? The door has been closed by her is the passive voice, okay? So yeah, active voice, just to give you a quick refresh, active voice is the common voice in speaking. That means that the noun in the subject position is doing the action, okay, in the sentence. We call it the agent of the sentence. It or she or he is causing the action, okay? For example, I have deleted the photo, okay? I have deleted the photo. The verb, if you're trying to create the passive voice, you need to be using a transitive verb. So if I say, I have deleted the photo, deleted is transitive because I have my object, the photo, okay? And I'm starting my sentence with I, the action doer. I can change this sentence to passive by saying the photo has been deleted, okay? And I'm not saying who did it because that's not important. If I'm using passive voice, what I care about is putting the object, the photo, in the subject position, okay? The photo has been deleted. Don't worry, okay? If you say, Nayarana, the door is closed, then yes, you are using closed as an adjective to describe the door. So you're using your be verb in the present tense with an ed adjective, okay? Which we're going to get into next week, actually, ed adjectives. So let me go to my document. We're going to do a little bit of practice with the passive form, okay? Yes, that's right, Gertie. Yeah, that's correct. Yeah, so here again I have the form written down here. So object as subject, okay, and then has or have, and then been, and then past participle, okay, then the rest of your sentence, okay. Let's go. Examples. I've given you 3 active sentences. I want you guys to change them to, passive. Remember, the only things that you are changing are the position of the object, okay, and the subject, and you are following the form that I've told you. So I'll give you guys a moment. This is the sentence. Theater closed. Closed is an adjective, Noir, describing the theater. Okay, so ed adjective. We're not going to get into those too much right now because next week we're going to talk about participle adjectives. That's ed adjectives and ing adjectives. Ed adjectives and passive voice have largely the same meaning. Okay, the theater is closed. The theater has been closed, okay? So there's not much difference in meaning. You're right, the theater doesn't close by itself. The grass has been eaten in the pasture. Okay, good. So that's good, Vladimir. Let me see that. Okay, good. So active voice. We've got our agent, right? The cows. And all of the grass is the object. Right? So we want to include all of that. Yeah. All of the grass. Okay. Now let's think about this prepositional phrase, in the pasture. Does this prepositional phrase, does it relate more to all of the grass or does it relate more to the cows? Okay. Because if it relates more to all of the grass, you should keep it close to that. Okay, so I'm seeing your Denise. All of the grass has been eaten in the pasture. Okay, all of the grass has been eaten by the cows. Okay, good. The grass has been eaten by the cows in the pasture. These are good. They're not wrong. I personally would keep in the pasture, I would keep that connected to all of the grass because it is describing which grass, okay? All of the grass in the pasture, okay, has been eaten, okay? And that's all you need to say. By the cows is optional, but again, if we are using the passive voice, we don't always include the by clause, okay? But I mean, you can put it in, I can put it in brackets because it's optional. And let me see, Vladimir, what's your question? The grass has been eaten in the pasture. Just looking. Are there any other forms of this expression? What do they mean? What expression? Oh, that's why. I don't think so. That's why is just meaning giving a reason for something that you say, right? But I would need a little more context of that question. This is because, we might say as well. That's why, or this is because, this is why. But yeah, definitely to show reason. But again, if you could give a little more detail, I could maybe do a better job at answering your question. Sorry. Nyarana, can we say it has been by cows in the pasture? No, we don't want to start a sentence with it because we want to be clear of what we're talking about, okay? And Saeed, doors closed, is door has closed or door is closed? How could you? We wouldn't contract doors. We would say the door is closed. The door has been closed. They are both okay. It depends what you want to do. If you want to just describe the door, you're using the adjective. The door is closed, okay? It's not talking about an action. You're describing the door. If you want to focus more on the action, you use the passive sentence. The door has been closed, okay? If you want to focus on who closed the door, you should use the active sentence. The doctor has closed the door, okay? All right, let's do the next example here. Active voice. City workers have finally fixed the massive pothole on Davie Street. Okay, and I could even do the full word. Fine. Who can give me the passive voice of this sentence? Okay, and I'll wait in the chat, let you guys try for a moment. City workers is our agent, the people who are doing the action, and the massive pothole is the object. Nice, Michaeli. And Raphael, that's a good passive sentence. The radio has just been turned off. That's good. Denise, you are very close. And you too, Aaron. However, the adverbs are not really where they usually go. The adverbs are placed in a different place. Let's see if anyone gets it. Close. Okay. So everyone's got the good new subject, the massive pothole. Okay. And yeah, you can keep the prepositional phrase closer to this noun. And it's the same in this case. All of the grass has been eaten in the pasture. That's not wrong, okay? But it sounds a little better to keep the prepositional phrase closer to what it is modifying, okay? So we'll do that again. The massive pothole on Davie Street, okay, has, good. And then we would, hello Emad, and then we would do the adverb, okay? The massive pothole on Davie Street has finally been fixed. Do we need to say by city workers? We don't have to. It's optional. It's kind of obvious, so it's obvious that a city worker would be doing that repair, so many people would leave that out. And if they want to, focus on the object, they wouldn't. If they're using passive voice, many people would not include the by clause. Okay. If you care about who did the action, most people choose to use the active voice. Okay. A big reason for the passive voice is because the object is more important than the agent, or you want to put more focus on the object, okay? Let me just look in the chat, make sure I'm not missing anything. No, Nawar, in your second sentence, closed is a verb because you need your be verb before your adjective, okay? So the theater is closed. Closed is an adjective. The theater closed, maybe people would say the theater closed down, an adjective to mean no more theater. The theater closed down, but it's an action, it's a verb. Yeah. Let me see here. The massive pothole has been finally fixed. Yeah, guys, so just to let you know, the adverb here, when we're doing passive voice, it's going before been, okay? In the active voice, it would go before fixed. For example, here, right? have finally fixed. You're putting it before the PP. But when you have passive voice, it would go before been, okay? Gertie, you're having connection issues? Oh no, I hope I'm not freezing too much. And yes, Michaeli, finally goes before been. Yeah. Good. Okay. Vladimir, that's going to depend on the sentence, definitely. Like, it depends what you're referring to. That's what I was talking about. Or, yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, it's too distracting right now. It's a whole new can of worms. But yeah, it definitely depends on the sentence that you're saying. But sorry, I can think about that later perhaps, okay? Let's continue on this track here. Active voice, another sentence, number 3. Gina has already picked up the ingredients for the cake. So we don't need to stop at the store. Again, past perfect connection to the present situation. Who can think of and we're only focusing on the first, whoops, sorry guys. We are only focusing on the first clause of this compound sentence. So don't worry about the second clause, just focus on the first clause, okay? And Vladimir, I'll try to get you some more examples a little bit later, okay? Sorry to blow you off there. I'm not trying to blow you off, but. Okay, so what do you think here? Gina has already picked up the ingredients for the cake, so we don't need to stop the store. The ingredients for the cake have, good Aaron, you have to change the subject-verb agreement, exactly. The ingredients for the cake have, good, because we're talking plural here. And then our adverb, yep, what did Aaron say? Have already, good, been picked up. Good. Yeah, and again, if you said the ingredients have already been picked up for the cake, comma, so we don't need to stop at the store, that's okay. Yeah. The ingredients for the cake have already been picked up, Vladimir. We want to put the adverb before been. Yeah. And then the rest of the sentence. So we don't need to stop at the store. Good. All right. So again, this prepositional phrase, you can keep it close to the ingredients. In this case, if you did put it here after picked up, it would still sound fine. The ingredients have already been picked up for the cake, comma, so we don't need to stop at the store. Good. All right. I hope you're feeling pretty good about the passive. Those are the 3 examples I had for that. So I'm going to continue on. So back to the Smrt. A little bit more with the present perfect and its use and all of the different ways that we use it. We often use, you will hear present perfect in the news a lot, okay? Because a lot of people use this tense to talk about new things that have happened in the world, okay? Announcing news. Of course, after announcing in the present perfect, people change to the past simple, right? We've talked about that before. Let's look at these examples. Have you heard the news? Wendy has had her baby. It's a boy, okay? Or in this case, this is personal news, right? Just personal news. This would be more maybe in a newspaper, okay? The government has decided to ban the use of plastic bags, okay? And then again, if you're going into more details, you change into the past tense. Another example you might hear in the news, some sad news. 4 people have died in a skiing accident at Mount Thomas. And moving down into using, giving more details then after. She had the baby at St. Paul's Hospital. Okay. This decision was made this afternoon in the capital. In this case, we're using past simple passive voice. Okay. The passive voice is also quite common in the news. Okay. The bodies of the skiers were found this morning. Again, past simple passive. If you're creating the past simple passive, we're using our be verb in the past and a past participle, okay? And as you can see here, the object, okay, the object receiving the action, okay? The decision is receiving the action, okay? Yes, that's right, Nawar. That would be the passive. That's good. Yeah, plastic bags have been banned. Yes, Lolly, that's a good example. Yep. Good. Okay, so I want to do a little practice with that. Oops. Let's do some examples. I have a photo here, and let's hear some of your news headlines. If, for example, imagine you are a journalist writing a newspaper. Which sentence would you use to introduce these new news stories? Okay, use the photo to give you some context. Okay, with the car accident here, the collision. We've got a collision, we call it, or car accident is fine. So you don't want to describe the photo exactly. You want to use the photo to give you kind of an idea. Yes, Saeed, that's fine. And maybe you would add a little more details, you know. There's been a, you know, for example, terrible car accident on Main Street. You know, giving a little more details, for example. Yeah, Vladimir, well, they're different tenses. So if you say the decision was made, that would be past simple passive, and maybe you would give some past time details, you know, like this decision was made last Friday at 4 p.m., you know. Whereas the decision has been made, it is present perfect passive. And you're not going to be mentioning time, okay? And it's more connected to the present. Yeah. Not a finished time period. So I guess you could say that the sentences are similar, but they are a little bit different because it's different tense. There has been, Lolly, there has been a car crash on my street. Yep. You could say that. On my street, we usually say, instead of in my street. Monty, a big accident has happened on the highway. Okay, that's good. A big accident has happened on the highway. Or, you know, instead of saying the highway, we might say on Highway 99, for example. Ignore. It's okay. Noir. Yes, that's good, but you don't want to say the accident unless you're being specific. Like, for example, the accident on the Lionsgate Bridge. Okay, giving more example. The Lionsgate, the accident on the Lionsgate Bridge has resulted in a serious, okay, you're doing plural, so no in serious injuries. That's a good one, yep. Yeah, careless driving. Yeah, you could say there has been a terrible car accident on Main Street due to careless driving. Make that sentence even more, it really paints a photo, right? Yeah, good. Raphael, 2 cars have just been in a collision. Yeah, they were driving at a fast speed, you would say. Okay, so those are good. Let's go to this one. Okay, got to keep the ball rolling here. How about this picture? Denise, that's a little bit too descriptive of the exact photo, right? Because you have to imagine you're reading this in a newspaper. For example, 2 well-known politicians have been arrested for drinking and driving. That kind of thing. What about this picture of a big forest fire? Big forest fire here. What could you say about this photo to introduce some new news? Noir. Yep, so again, if you're introducing, we use a, not the. A fire has destroyed an entire forest. Yeah. A fire has destroyed an entire forest. Maybe give a little more detail in California. Good. Again, Saeed, a little bit too descriptive of the actual photo. You want to try to imagine writing a news title. Yeah. A bushfire. Good, Nilofer. But again, when we're introducing the noun for the first time, we use a. A bushfire has raged through a town. Again, and maybe give the place a town in Canada. Oops, bushfire, not fire. And we might even use an adjective here, like, oops, one word. A massive meaning very big. A massive bushfire has raged through a town in Canada. Good. Saeed, your idea is good, but you should start with the Amazon. Okay, the Amazon has caught on fire. Yeah. Denise, a massive area, not a massive area of the forest in northern Russia, or North Russia is good, has been destroyed by a fire. Pez, the forest has been on fire for a long time. Good. Yep, that's good. A forest in, again, we want to kind of give some more details if we're doing a news article. A forest in British Columbia has been on fire for a long time. Good. Gertie, a dangerous fire has destroyed a huge part of the forest near Capilano Park. Yeah, we don't need to if we're using near. If you're using close, we would use to. Close to Capilano Park. That's an awesome sentence. Jacqueline, the animals of the forest have suffered from the burning forest fire. And you want to keep it like that, from the smoke. Good sentence. Yeah. Michaeli, Morning Mail, nice. Bushfire in the northern region, maybe, has concerned the U.S. citizen. Good sentence. Noir, a forest in Toronto has been eaten by a massive wildfire. Nice. You guys are good. Good. Okay, one more. Let's change gears to this one. What do you think about this? This is like a little rip in the paper. I don't know this band. I know they're popular. I recognize the people, but I forget their name. But anyways, we'll just pretend. Use the photo and pretend. Raphael, that's good. You could say that the forest is on fire, even though firefighters have been fighting it for many weeks, for example. The forest remains on fire, even though firefighters have been fighting it for the past few weeks. Okay. So again, in this photo, if you can't really tell, this is a rip in the photo. Okay, so probably something about a breakup. Pays, good. And maybe add a popular music band has broken up. Has broken up. Broken up being your verb. So we don't need a passive voice, actually, just active voice. That's good. Oops. Give you your news here. What else could we say? Any other ideas? Maybe one more and then we'll keep going because I've got a couple more things to talk about. PP, okay. I won't include your first word, but maybe like the breakup of the most beloved boy band has destroyed many people's hearts. For example, the breakup of one of the most beloved boy bands has destroyed many people's hearts. Dear. All right, you guys, I want to keep going and talk about the fact that present perfect simple, we're focusing on the result of a completed action, right? So if I say she has finally arrived, the result is that, she's here now and we can finally start what we were waiting for, okay? Nilofer, that's a good title too. Aaron, good grammar. Yeah. Great sentence, Raphael. Great sentence. Gotten. She has gotten a promotion. A promotion. No, we don't really use the verb get with the passive in as your main verb. Like, she has finally gotten a raise. We would say a raise has finally been received. Like, we would change the verb there. Yeah. Okay, so let's see here. Max has bought a new car. Okay. So the present result, he has a new car. He can drive himself around. He is independent. Okay. It has stopped raining. Okay, so present result, it's not raining anymore. We can go outside. We can go for a walk, whatever we were waiting for. Okay. But just another review. Don't confuse this way of talking about the duration of unfinished actions when our verb is a stative verb, right? He has been here for 20 minutes. Okay? So been is a stative verb. We're not focusing on a completed action because he is still there, so it's unfinished, right? I have known Jim for 7 or 8 years. Again, know is a stative verb, so we're not going to talk about completion, okay? It's unfinished, but know is a stative verb. Here's an example of a dynamic verb for continuous. It has been raining all day, unfinished, okay? Okay, so last thing I want to talk about for this is that explaining the present can be done in different ways, okay? There's often more than one way to describe the present situation with really small difference in meaning. The general message is kind of the same, all right? As Saeed, you would say a new car has been bought by him. Okay, so we don't use the verb got there. We would use been. Okay. Noir, I'll consider that. I'll consider that for the future as a good topic. Okay, ergative verbs. I'll make a note that you're interested in that. Okay, so look at the examples here. If someone says, the sun has set, another person might say, night has begun. Another person might say, it is now night. And someone else might say, it's not day anymore. Okay, but the general message for all 4 of these sentences is kind of the same. Example 2. The baby has woken. The baby isn't sleeping anymore. The baby is awake. Okay, so all of these sentences give us the same general message. Yeah. Jessica and Ben aren't married anymore. Okay, negative present tense. Or Jessica and Ben have gotten a divorce. Okay, present perfect. Or Jessica and Ben are divorced. Present tense. Okay. Let's do some of our own examples of that. Explaining the present in different ways. Here's another example from me. Present perfect, my mom has moved. Positive present, my mom lives in a different house now. Negative present, my mom doesn't live in her whole old house anymore. Okay? All 3 sentences generally give the same message. The message is just given in different ways. Okay? So, I've given you one sentence. Can you think about the different ways of saying it? If I'm giving you a negative present sentence, Linda doesn't work at the hospital anymore. How could we kind of give a new sentence with present perfect or positive present, and it would give us the same meaning? Either present perfect or positive present, whatever you guys can think of. Aaron, Linda has found a new job. Great. That's great. Vladimir, Linda has just been fired. That's perfect. Yeah. That's good, passive sentence. Linda has left the job. Linda is not an employee anymore. Yeah, good. Nilofer, she has stopped working at the hospital. That's great. Linda has gotten a new job. Those are all good. Okay, I will write more of them down. Linda has stopped working at the hospital. And Linda has gotten a new job. Awesome. Linda has changed her work. That's also good. Okay, but what about positive present? Whoa. Positive present sentence. positive present tense. We've got present perfect, we've got negative present, positive present. Good. Linda works for another company now. Excellent. Good job. Linda has a new job. Good job. Perfect. And one more? Yep. I mean, if we're doing present, Raphael, Linda is now self-employed. Good. Good, Aaron. Sure. Yeah. Any new job, definitely. Okay. Good. So we've got about 14 minutes and we're going to continue on. Today I kind of blended two of the Smrt grammar points together because both of them were not too long. So it's best to do them in one. One more thing to talk about is deciding which focus, okay, that is important. What kind of focus you want to focus on. The present result, okay? If you are trying to decide between present perfect simple and present perfect continuous, sometimes we have to think about our present result and where is it coming from? Is it coming from a completed action or is it coming from an activity, okay? So as we can see here, sometimes present results, they do not come from finished actions actually. They come from the activity itself. So that means that we don't care if the action is finished or unfinished, okay? So remember a few weeks ago we talked about present perfect continuous to describe duration of unfinished actions, actions that are still true at the moment of speaking, unfinished, okay? That is one of the most common ways that we do use present perfect continuous to talk about duration of actions that started in the past but continue on at the moment of speaking. Hi guys, joining us, Allison, Amir, Goli. That's okay, welcome. But the other way that we use present perfect continuous is also to just talk about activities that have been going on in your life and what is the present result of those activities, okay? So our focus is not on finished, unfinished. That doesn't even matter. Our focus is on the activity, okay? So like, let's ask ourselves these questions. If someone asks you, okay, you have dirty hands, and someone asks you, why are your hands dirty? Well, the action working in the garden, okay, does that have to be finished in order for someone's hands to be dirty? The answer is no, and hopefully you can see that because someone's hands having dirt on them, mud on them, working in the garden, it doesn't have to be finished. It doesn't matter whether it's finished or unfinished. What matters is that activity and that it caused the present result, okay? My hands are dirty because I have been working in the garden, okay? And the same thing with these two. Why is your face so red? Well, laughing, okay, the action laughing, it doesn't have to be finished for someone's face to be red, okay? You know, so most people would use the continuous and say, oh, I've just been laughing so much lately, or I've just been laughing a lot, all right? And again, the last example, why does it smell so good in the kitchen, okay? Many people would say because my mother has been cooking for the past few hours, you know? In this case, it's clear that it's unfinished. But if you don't include for the past few hours and you just say, my mother has been cooking, again, the focus is more on the activity, okay? So, we need to pay attention to what we want to put the focus on. let's compare these examples. Focus on completion and focus on activity. Focus on completion. I have fixed my car. Finished, completed. Present result. Do you want to go for a ride? We wouldn't ask this question if we weren't finished the repair, right? Noir frowsy. I don't know that word, frowsy. What does that mean? You teach me. Focus on activity. The garage is a mess. Okay? Present result. The garage is a mess. Unorganized. Things everywhere. Why? Why is it such a mess? I've been fixing my car. Focus is more on the activity of fixing the car. Oh, musty. Yeah. Okay. I've done my homework. Okay, finished. Present result. Now I can play video games. I've been doing my homework. Present result. My eyes are a little tired from reading so much. Okay? So this, is focusing on the action, the activity. You are full because you have eaten so much. Okay, so present result, you're full, and that comes from a completed action. You have eaten so much. Completed action. And in this case, you've been eating a lot of junk food lately. Okay, you should eat healthier. Again, doesn't matter if this is finished or unfinished. What matters is the activity. And the last two examples, I have typed my message, finished, but there hasn't been a reply. Okay, so maybe the present result is, I am annoyed. I want to have a reply. I am still waiting. Okay. In this case, present result, my fingers are sore because I've been typing a lot. Okay. Farva, with written expressions, are you talking about like idioms and phrasal verbs and that kind of thing? If you're hoping to improve with that, I think that a lot of listening is important to hear native speakers and the expressions that they use, and then try to write down what you hear and make sure you understand what the meaning is, and try to incorporate it slowly but surely into your own conversations with people. But yeah, you definitely need to find some good natural resources to pick up on expressions. And I'll always try to add them into my lessons as much as I can too. Okay, so taking a look here and reminding you on our document, present perfect simple often focuses on the result of a completed action. Okay, so for example, I have finally finished renovating my basement. Renovating means making something like some part of your house look better. Changing the walls, or changing the flooring, changing the paint color, that kind of thing. So if I say, I have finally finished renovating my basement, the result, the present result, I can finally relax in my new basement. Okay? Another example, she has finished her work. Present result, we can go on our weekend getaway now. Okay? Well, thanks, Farva. I know it's hard to learn a new language, so definitely don't want to be discouraging. Just want to encourage you guys all the time. It's a long process, you just have to, it's a lifelong learning process because it's not your natural native tongue. So anyone, speaking another second, third, fourth language, they need to work on it all the time, right? Okay, so present perfect continuous, just to repeat, is, often focuses on the result of an activity that has been going on. It doesn't matter whether this activity is finished or unfinished. So someone might say to you, oh, I've been working out so much lately. The present result, I'm feeling great. Okay, working out meaning exercising. Another example, the dog has been getting a lot more exercise this week. Present result, he is more calm at home. Reverend Gott, you're eating pancakes right now? I'm jealous. I love pancakes. Very Canadian breakfast meal. We eat them with maple syrup. Okay, so say this lesson, you would say the lesson has gotten. Okay, the past participle in North American English is gotten, has gotten hard to understand. And yes, Farva, lately. We're talking about things that have happened lately with these examples. Can you guys think of any examples? I'm going to look up frowsy too. Oh, okay. Is this in the herb? Okay. Yeah, so the more common words in my vocabulary would be, usually frowsy is describing someone who looks like they have neglected their appearance, like they're not trying, like scruffy or unkept, untidy, sloppy, disheveled. Yeah, but that's good. New word for me. Frowsy was not in my vocabulary before, so. Raphael, my dad has just retired. Now he can enjoy life a lot more. Yeah, great. That's a good sentence. So yeah, focus on completion for you. Amir, little confused on your example, Amir. I have been finished. Well, if you're going to say I have been, it would be finishing my work lately. You could say that. I've been finishing my work lately. Present result, I'm tired. People could say negative, I haven't been sleeping very well lately. Present result, I'm tired. Or the young teenagers have been going out too much lately. They are falling behind in their schoolwork. Present result. Yeah. All right, well, we have 2 more minutes, but that's basically all that I wanted to talk about today. I know it was kind of a lot, but if we go back up to the top of this document, we can kind of review here. So at first we reviewed using the passive voice with the present perfect simple, the passive voice. Many people speak in the active voice, but it's good to know how to create the passive voice because it is also commonly used as well. And just remember that in order to create a passive sentence, the verb that you use must be transitive, right? The verb in the active sentence has to have an object, a direct object. So got to be a transitive verb. So after passive, we went down, we talked about describing news with the present perfect, okay? A lot of people use the present perfect to talk about something that new that has happened, okay? And some examples. And finally, we can explain the present in different ways, depending on the person and their preference, okay? And some examples. And finally, you have to think about your focus in the present. When you're talking about a present result, the present result is, does the present result come from a completed action, or does the present result come from an activity? Okay, not focusing on completion, but just on the activity. And I will share the link with you guys 100%. And Vladimir, I would also love to know who the new streamer is. I don't know. I haven't been told, actually, yet. I haven't been able to speak to my coworkers this week yet, so I'm not sure who it is. I know that it is on Thursday, right? So I'm sorry I don't have any more information, but stay tuned on the Smrt YouTube channel, and they will definitely keep you informed on that. Okay? So yeah, I hope you guys had a good stream and learned some new tips. And yeah, if you want to join in next week, that would be great. I'll be here again next Tuesday, 3 o'clock to 4 o'clock. And we are going to be talking about participle adjectives, okay? So that's ED adjectives and ING adjectives. So, good. Thank you guys. Have an awesome day. And Vladimir, I work here as a teacher in the classroom full time, and I do this on the side here. So, busy. But yeah, it's 4 o'clock here in Vancouver. Thanks, everyone. Stay positive. Keep up the good work. And hope you have a fun week, fun weekend. Next weekend is Thanksgiving here in Canada, so I will be sure to eat a lot of turkey and mashed potatoes and gravy and all of the Canadian Thanksgiving fixings. And I'll tell you about it on Tuesday. I'll probably be in a food coma and very fat on Tuesday. Pleasantly fat. But again, thank you and enjoy your weekend. I'll see you all next week, okay? Take care. See you then. And I will put the link in the chat. It is 4:02 p.m. in Vancouver. So, have a good afternoon, everyone. Bye-bye.